welcome Mr. Kiruba Shankar to our show.
I mean, I love you guys. I love Tikuji. So how can I say no? Success is not about how much money you have in the bank. Success is how fulfilling life that you're able to lead. Say that I'm the guy who gets in the money, and my wife Sujani is the one who manages the money. Lessons that I've learned and that will be useful for your audience, Gurleen, is that always trust professionals, right? So I'm actually very allergic to loans and debt. If the fishermen can't go to the sea, they spend their time repairing the nets.
There's a quick rapid fire round. Hard work or luck?
Hard work.
Money?
Happiness.
Success?
Lessons from failure.
And failure?
Leads to happiness.
Family?
The only thing that matters.
And if not Kiruba Shankar, then?
Only Kiruba Shankar.
Hello everyone, my name is Gurleen Kotiku and I welcome you to our next episode of Chai with Haripati. So today we have a very special guest with us. He's an entrepreneur, social media consultant, professional speaker, author of 5 books, professor of digital marketing, podcaster and an organic farmer. He's a multifaceted personality. First of all, I welcome Mr. Kiruba Shankar to our show and thank you so much for agreeing to come on a Sunday afternoon, sir.
Why not, Gurleen? I mean, I love you guys. I love Tikuji. I've come to your house and what a phenomenal host you are. So how can I say no?
Our honor, sir. Our honor.
So congratulations on the new show, Gurleen. That's how long has this been going on?
So started in lockdown itself. Started in the month of April and doing one episode every week.
Fantastic.
So, you always talk about living one's own life. So seeing a lot of your videos, you have been talking about living one's own life. All of us, we aspire to be someone else. We want to be like someone else. And I must tell you, you have built your own very beautiful life, which reflects who you are. So today, we would like your insights on how one can build their own financial life, how one can work towards building their own financial life. So my first question to you is, before I start with the interview, so how do you give your best to all the roles that you play?
The answer is quite simple, Gurleen. The answer is only do things that you truly love doing. Take up projects, only the ones that truly speak to your heart, and it has to be challenging. So if you take a combination of these, and then anything that does not match these criteria, absolutely feel free to say no to those. So instead of looking at, hey, is this giving me more money? Look at, is this giving me more satisfaction? Is it making my life more fulfilling?
So my next question comes out of this only. So what does money and happiness mean to you?
Money definitely is connected with happiness. And the way how I look at money is it buys us time, it buys us bandwidth, and it buys us mind space for us to focus on what we truly love doing. One of the best decisions I've taken in my life is to become an entrepreneur, to become my own boss. So that way I have at least some leeway, flexibility for me to decide which projects to take, which projects not to take. So for me, money is something that gives me the ability for me to pursue the things that I truly want.
During current situation, a lot of people have got the income cards, salary cards, and lots of jobs as well. So how one can actually, because most of us are actually living on single stream of income. So how we can actually focus on building multiple streams of income?
Yeah. So think of this as a blessing in disguise. And I think it's a slightly insensitive. Some of you may feel that what I'm saying is slightly insensitive or not understanding the pain. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you need to be pushed against the wall for you to come up with innovative ways. I have known being in the digital domain, and I'm a professional speaker on digital. I teach digital. I've been telling, and so many other people have been telling traditional businesses to embrace digital. Right? So this has been a constant, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
But quite a few businesses have really not taken that very seriously. The reason why? Because business continues to happen, profits continues to flow. Why even bother about digital when life goes on very smoothly? Now it's almost like a wake-up call, right? This is a true reality check. It is a painful reality check, but it is a reality check. So now people are they have to pivot. They have to start looking at embracing technology a little bit more and start doing it. Now, the owners of the companies are saying, oh my goodness, why did we not do this 10 years ago? Why did we not do this 5 years ago? So that realization has really started to come in. So I would say that treat this unfortunate incident as a wake-up call for us to start doing it. Right? That's a brilliant statement that is very valid during this time. If the fishermen can't go to the sea, they spend their time repairing the nets. Now that our businesses have been affected, but what we have been gifted is the gift of time. So is this a time that we can learn new skills? Is this a time that we can pick up courses that will really enhance our career? Is this a time when we can use internet as a place to get projects and start doing? Is this a time that we can explore the different tools that the digital provides as a way to sell your services and products? So we cannot control the situation, but you can control the way how we react to the situation.
When you talk about personal finance, who takes personal finance decisions at your home?
Personal finance, I say that I'm the guy who gets in the money, and my wife, Sujani, is the one who manages the money. Wonderful. So that's a kind of a good split. She's really good at what she is doing. Yeah, so I tend to not interfere with that. And what we have also done is we have two teenage daughters, and very early we've started to take in their advice as well, because they need to be part of the financial journey. They need to be treated as adults. Encourage them to come and work as part of the family business or do chores at home. So anytime, and however small the money, so the quantity of money really does not matter at all. However small amount of money, you should make the kids feel that they worked for it. When they feel that they have put an effort towards it, then their respect to that money becomes very different. They start, they start saving up the money. They don't waste because they know how much hours of time it took for them to earn that money.
So I would like to ask, what has been your best investment decision till date and worst investment decision?
I think the best investment decision is to marry my wife.
Nice.
Seriously, I think it is many times your life partner makes a huge difference into the way how your finances or your entire life takes shape. So financially, otherwise, the best decision I've made is investing in my farmland. We had an ancestral property about 2 acres, and then over a period of time we started to invest a little bit more, and now we are standing at about 13 acres of farmland. I consider that as my retirement fund. We will still continue to do our digital consulting business. By the time 5G would be out there, so it really does not matter which part you are. All you need is a good internet access.
And I'm still jealous of Tikuji. He went there all alone to Vatsana Farms. I was not able to come along. I'll definitely come along in the years to come, very soon.
You must, Gurleen. And you should get your kids along. And it'll be a phenomenal experience. And I'll tell you that Tikuji was the toast of the village when he was there. One of the worst decisions that I've taken is when we decided to construct a farmhouse. I decided at that point in time, that I will not spend money to hire a professional architect. So me and my dad decided to take this on as a father-son project. What should have taken, we paid 3 times the cost of the house. Lessons that I've learned and that will be useful for your audience, Gurleen, is that always trust professionals, right? Get professionals to do their job. There's a reason why they are a professional. They've spent enough time, enough years building up that expertise. That's one. And the second one is always plan ahead before you start executing any project. It applies to a home, it applies to life, it applies to personal life. Anything that we do, it is better to do all the planning and do any changes that you want to do during the planning stage on paper, And once you've committed to that idea, you should never go back and change the blueprint and then focus on execution.
My next question is, so what personal finance tips did you get from your parents? And what would you like to pass on to your kids and the younger generation out there?
Yeah. So I have to say that my parents weren't the smartest with money. There are not so smart decisions that they've taken, which is also a lesson for us to learn, right? So anything, whether it's good, whether it's bad, you should always try and eke out a lesson. What would I pass on to my kids is number one. I think the biggest lesson I'd like to tell is that the money is just a means towards the end of seeking what you want to do. I would never want my kids to become hoarders of money. Success is not about how much money you have in the bank. Success is how fulfilling life that you're able to lead. But no matter how much you tell them, it is only advice.
You have been talking about bucket list as well. You have been creating bucket list. And, a lot of people out there, when it comes to saving money, when it comes to what actually they are saving money for, the clarity and focus is missing. So how can one actually focus on long-term planning and planning for their financial goals?
So it's a brilliant question. See, all our lives are limited. The longevity of an average Indian is about 70 years. I'm 48 years old, right? So technically, I have another 22 years to live. So 22 into 365, that's less than 10,000 days I've got to live. So when you realize that your days are really numbered, then your entire perspective in life changes. And that's why I always urge that everyone should have a bucket list. A bucket list is a list of things that you want to do before you die. Also look at bucket lists that have a true meaning. What are all the passion projects that you want to do? What are all the challenges that you want to undertake? Now, for me to do these, I need to have money. Now your very internal push towards money is super strong. You really become very focused in the work that you're doing.
So you, sir, have been talking about what not to do. So what things that you feel should not be done in personal finance?
I would say that number one, what you should not do is spend too much money on anything that depreciates. I have an old car. I have an old bike. I'm completely aware of it. And I've decided, right, ever since I wrote down my life goal, I decided that it was new car or a new bike did not figure in my list of things that brought me happiness. So I made peace with that. If it brings you happiness, please feel free to go and invest. But if it does not, don't do that. You should save, right? So don't get into the habit of not saving any money. That's number two. Number three, never be in debt. Do everything that it takes within your personal power not to be under debt. But if you have to go take a loan because you're going to realize your life dream of buying an apartment, or if you're buying anything of that will appreciate in value, sure, take that loan, but cut down almost all other expenses until you figure out you close down that loan, right? So I'm actually very allergic to loans and debt.
And so everything that you said was very inspiring, and you know that you are an inspiration for all of us in our family, and I'm sure a lot of people will also consider you their inspiration and follow what you said. So before we just wrap it up, there's a quick rapid fire round, just single word answers for each of them. So you have to choose between the two, hard work or luck.
Hard work.
Home in Chennai or Vaksana Farms?
Vaksana Farms.
So video or podcast?
Video.
Reading or writing?
Writing.
So your favorite cuisine?
Is vegetables. Just sauteed vegetables.
So I would like one word answer for the first word that comes to your mind when I say these things. First is digital marketing.
Absolute must.
Money.
Happiness.
Success.
Lessons from failure.
And failure?
Leads to happiness.
Family?
The only thing that matters.
COVID-19?
Blessing in disguise.
And if not Kiruba Shankar, then?
Only Kiruba Shankar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kiruba, for your valuable time and taking out time from your busy schedule. I am honored to have you on our show. Thank you so much. So that was Kiruba Shankar for you. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask Kiruba directly, so you can ask at kiruba.com, and feel free to share your feedback and comments. And looking forward to seeing the next episode. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe.